I'm going to start by reading a story. The story is called The Letter. Not many people are christened Clementina. I suppose it's hardly a fashionable name nowadays, but this story is about a girl who was called just that. Clementina was, on the whole, a very charming and likeable 11-year-old. She could even be extremely kind and thoughtful on occasion, as you'll soon see from my story. But alongside that, there was also an ever so slightly devious side to her character. Clementina lived with her mum, her dad, and her 2 younger sisters in a pleasant suburb of a large city. In addition, her granny lived close by, and Clementina was particularly fond of her, so she was often round there on visits after school. At the time of this story, it happened to be the week of her granny's 70th birthday. Clementina had decided she'd buy her a present, and she knew just the right thing to purchase. She had seen it in the corner shop. It was a large and very pretty box of delicious chocolate biscuits, wrapped up with a beautiful pink bow. Now, you may think that this was a strange idea for a present, but the truth is these were Granny's favourites. And also, incidentally, they were Clementina's, but of course that had nothing to do with it. But there was one snag. This beautifully decorated present cost £5.99, and unfortunately, Clementina had already spent all her pocket money that week. She hadn't been able to resist a bumper edition of a magazine that she saw, especially because it had some really wonderful toys and stickers with it as well. But this meant she had no money left over. What was she to do? Clementina had a good think and came up with a really big idea. After a week, during which she was particularly, and I must say, unusually helpful around the house, Clementina sat down on Friday evening to write a letter to her mum. And this is what the letter said. Dear Mum, here is my bill for last week's work. Cleaning shoes, 80p. Helping with the shopping, £1.20. Feeding the dog, 7 days at 20p a day, £1.40. Washing up sometimes, £1. Laying the table each night, 60p. Tidying up my room, 99p. Total, £5.99. Love, Clementina. She placed the letter in an envelope and left it on the sideboard so that Mum would see it and read it after Clementina had gone to bed. The following morning, Clementina came down to breakfast and she glanced over at the sideboard. To her delight, she saw the letter had been opened, and that another letter addressed to her lay there in its place. She opened it quickly, and this is what she read. Dear Clementina, enclosed is £5.99, and many thanks for all your help. Now, here's my bill. Feeding and clothing you for 11 years, 0p. Nursing you through measles, chicken pox, etc., 0p. Transport to brownies, swimming, gymnastics, parties and so on, 0p. Cost of holidays and entertainment for 11 years, 0p. Total, 0p. Suddenly, Clementina felt very humbled indeed, and for the first time she realised just what her mother's love really involved, and that it was all given free. Clementina learned a big lesson that day, and the next time Mothering Sunday came round, it somehow meant a great deal more to her than ever before, as she thought back to the letter her mother had written. It was a letter rather like her name, never to be forgotten. So today is Mothering Sunday. And you know what, as I read that story, I think sometimes I treated my mother just like that. And I wonder if maybe when you think about it as well, you think, oh, sometimes I treat my mother or my foster carer or my father or somebody else who looks after me a bit like Clementina did. Today's a day to think about that and to go to them and to thank them for all that they've done. And maybe you could do something special for them. Maybe you could draw a picture. Maybe if you're a bit old, you could make them a cup of tea. Maybe you could give them a bit of peace and quiet. Have you read that book called 5 Minutes Peace? It's a very good book. You know them. You know what they're like. Maybe you could do something special for them today. And the other thing I was thinking as I read that story was, do you know what? Sometimes in the Bible, God is talked of a bit like a mother. The Bible says sometimes God's a bit like a mother hen looking after her chicks under her wings. And I thought, do you know what? I think sometimes I treat God a bit like Clementine treated her mother. And I know he gives me lots of things every day, and how often do I think about that? And how often do I say thank you to him? Instead, I just go and I ask for more. And maybe today is also a day where we need to think, gosh, God, thank you for all the things you've given me. And I know that that's for free. And maybe we also need to thank him too. So, on Mothering Sunday, I hope you have a really lovely day with your parents, with your foster carers, with your uncles, aunts, whoever you might be with. And I hope that we also can all remember and say thank you to God as well as to them. Okay, now a little earlier I suggested that you might want to do something nice for your mum or your dad or whoever looks after you, your foster carer, whoever looks after you. Here's one suggestion you might want to do. You might want to do something completely different because you know your carer and you know what they will enjoy. So this is one thing, which is to make a tissue paper flower. And you might have done this before, but I think this way is really quite good. You will need some scissors, a pipe cleaner. Now I managed to find a green one. Actually, I thought I was going to have to do it with the blue one. Doesn't really matter. And 3 sheets of tissue paper, whatever colour you think you'd like your flower to be. About this big. Again, it doesn't really matter. So, 3 sheets of tissue paper, 1 pipe cleaner, and 1 pair of scissors. Okay. Okay, so this is what you do. You take these 3 sheets of paper and you put them all in a little pile. 1, 2, 3. As neatly as you can. It doesn't really matter if they're not particularly neat. Then, together you fold them like that. You're making a fan, okay, like that once. And then, like that. And then, like this, so you're making a fan. And if you don't know how to make a fan, maybe you can find somebody else, not the person who you're going to give this flower to, but somebody else to help you with it. And you just keep on going like that. Doesn't matter if you tear it. Did you see I just tore it? I'm not getting fussed about that. I don't get fussed about things like that. Good. Don't get fussed about the fact that I've got a tiny bit extra there. There we are. Now, you take this pipe cleaner and you put this thing on top of it, like that, about halfway. And then do you see, you bend that over there. I might put it a bit further down. Bend that over there, like that, so that it's sort of holding it. And you twizzle it round and round and round and round and round. There we go. So now you should have something like that. Yeah? It's like a fan. And then take your scissors and just cut it in a little round sort of thing like that. Maybe you can get somebody to help you with that if you need to. There's one bit. And a little round cut here. So it's all sort of slightly rounded at the edges. And then you do that. Open it out like that. And also, because you've got 3 sheets of paper here, you should be able to start pulling it out a bit, like that. And like that, to make a flower which is actually called a peony. A peony has lots and lots of petals on it. I'm going to have to lick my finger a bit just to get them to open a bit. You just open it out all the way around. See, it takes a bit of time. You don't need to get fussed. Just take your time. There we are. Doesn't matter if it gets a bit torn either. on pulling it out and separating them out like that. Gently, gently. It doesn't matter if you get a little bit of a rip in it every now and then. Try not to, but it doesn't really matter. And you're making a beautiful peony. And if you make more than one, you could make a little bunch and put them in a vase or something. Or you can just give one with a little drawing. There we are, a peony.